Do you think that the U.S. or UN forces should have moved into Baghdad?
No.
Why not?
Because if we'd gone to Baghdad, we would have been all alone. It would have been a U.S. occupation of Iraq. Once you got to Iraq and took down Saddam Hussein's government, then what are you going to put in its place? That's a very volatile part of the world. If you take down the central government in Iraq, you can easily end up seeing pieces of Iraq fly off. A part of it the Syrians would like to have to the west. Part of eastern Iraq the Iranians would like to claim. In the north, you've got the Kurds. If the Kurds spin loose and join with the Kurds in Turkey, then you threaten the territorial integrity of Turkey. It's a quagmire. The other thing was casualties. Everyone was impressed with the fact that we were able to do our job with as few casualties as we had. But for the 146 Americans killed in action and for their families, it wasn't a cheap war. And the question for the president, in terms of whether or not we went on to Baghdad, took additional casualties in an effort to get Saddam Hussein, was how many additional dead Americans is Saddam worth? And our judgment was not very many, and I think we got it right.
Hello, I'm Alex Jones, and I'm a radio and television host based in Austin, Texas.
So shall we burn thee once again this night, flames that keep thine effigy. We shall read the sign. Midsummer sets us free. Ye shall burn me once again. Now but these flame, which hither ye have brought from regions where I reign, ye fools and priests, I spit upon your fire.
George Soros is one of the richest men in the world. You were, in a sense, a traitor to capitalism.
The beginning of time, people have been predicting its end. Now it seems the doomsayers have a date to work towards. A simple glitch is threatening a new age of chaos the second the world's computers click over to the year 2000.
At the third stroke.
Everywhere from your video recorder to your bank account, there are computers that run on time. Most read the year the same way, just the last two digits, which is fine until the year 2000, when 00 just won't compute.
It's traffic lights, it's cars, it's pension funds, insurers, emergency services, fire, police, ambulance, hospitals, power, water, telecommunication. We would be like a planet full of blind people.
How's that? Look at the right side. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? Like this guy? Quite unbelievable. Might come back. To imagine that it was done so long ago. Mr. President. They've even had bricks here for 400 and something years. You got a chair? I love you, baby. We love you, Ralph.
I'm here with Elliott Smith, who has a new album out called Either Or on the Kill Rock Stars label.
Mr. Gates, you're familiar with a company called Real Networks, are you not?
Yes.
Did you ever have any discussions with any representative of Real Networks concerning what products Real Networks should or should not offer or distribute?
No.
I am not a Chicago native. I actually came to Chicago after college because I was interested in community organizing. I was one of those idealistic kids caught in a 60s time warp, even though it was the 80s, and so decided to look around for a community organizing job. There were a group of churches in Chicago that were interested in hiring somebody to help the Calumet region, where there had been a lot of steel plant closings and there was great unemployment and problems in the...
Hey, this motherfucker... Yo, what's up, what's up? Yo, I want to send a shot to 87th Street outfit, my man John, back at the crib.
The world weeps after the death of Princess Diana.
William, please, thank you.
Try to turn away. I believe on Capitol Hill, there is still time.
Hi, Elon Musk speaking.
Elon Musk anxiously waits for his golden payoff.
I expect to receive a car that I've just bought called the McLaren F1. There are 62 McLarens in the world, and I will own one of them. Wow, I can't believe it's actually here. It's pretty wild, man. Obviously, I've got a $1 million car, and it's just a moment in my life. All clear.
It's the perfect car for Silicon Valley. It really is.
There it is, gentlemen, the fastest car in the world. To my, personal fiefdom, I'm much more interested in trying to... Raising $50 million is a matter of making a series of phone calls, and the money is there.
Is that a McLaren F1? Oh my God, that's unbelievable.
It's sort of like a series of poker games. And now I've gone on to a more high-stake poker game and just carry those chips with me. And I haven't gone and taken my winnings and spent a big chunk, but I've...
Yes, but the car is fun.
But the car sure is...
The car is fun.
Sure is
Let's
fun.
be honest.
Sure is fun.
You'll take the car.
In 1984, an industrial disaster killed 7,000 and injured 300,000 in Bhopal, India, when a deadly chemical cloud escaped from a modern plant and spread across the city. According to computer experts, the plant was equipped with some 17,000 computer chips. All were working fine, but one.
These chips really are the Millennium bug's deadliest secret. While everyone's frantically been trying to fix their mainframe code, these chips have been hiding, pretending they're just too smart to have any destructive date problems. Many of them do, and we just don't know which ones.
Oh no! It's the Y2K bug!
Actually, I prefer Millennium bug.
Welcome to Liberty Civic Association show. A couple of people, Mr. Beetlejuice. But I think he's a cool guy, so I got chewing backing me up here. Mr. Beetlejuice. You're I'm sorry. Everything's cool. Okay.
The Vice President discussed the design flaw in millions of the world's computers that will mean they will be unable to recognize the year 2000. And if they can't, then we will see a series of shutdowns, inaccurate data, faulty calculations.
Throw the shades, sing me Bible songs, and get all of my money to charity. Fuck that shit! Went out and got himself a big, fat Kentucky Fried Hooker. That's the way you go.
Police and security guards in Belgium were caught flat-footed today by a cowardly sneak attack on one of the world's wealthiest men. Target was Microsoft Chairman Bill Gates arriving for a meeting with community leaders. Watch what happens when a team of hitmen meet him first with a pie in the face. Gates was momentarily and understandably shaken, but he was not injured. The hit squad piled on with 2 more pies before one of them was wrestled to the ground and arrested. The others, for at least the moment, got away. Gates went inside, wiped his face clean, and made no comment. He then went ahead with his scheduled meeting. No word on the motive for this attack.
Where's your wallet? Where is your wallet?
Here and here.
All right, let me see your wallet. Let me see what you got on. Some money you take. Has anybody ever asked to look in your wallet?
Never happened before.
Are you now back to being worth $1 billion?
I don't know, it depends. You know, how do you value things like the Plaza or the Taj Mahal, Trump Plaza in Atlantic City, you know, different things. Real estate is down, but it's coming back up strong. I'm just doing really well.
You're set now, right? Am I correct?
Things are really good.
Let me see your wallet.
I'll tell you what.
Let's see what you got.
I'll tell you what I'll show you.
Open it up. Let me see that. Let me see. Look at this. Right here.
Anything you want, Howard.
Let me see. Look at this. Look at that. Look at this. Look at that. Look at this. Look at all that. Huh, girls?
Isn't that nice?
That could be yours.
To put it bluntly, they're more interested in something else.
Oh, you mean sex?
Duh.
Shakespeare in Love. David Parfit, Donna Gelati, Harvey Weinstein.
For David Parfit, Donna Gelati, Harvey Weinstein, and Edward Zwick.
The other guy that we really need to thank, though, is Harvey Weinstein, who had the guts, the courage, the commitment to make this picture and get it done. Here he is. Say a few words.
Okay, and the rest of this guy. Thank you.
So he decided he had to respond, choosing the overtly heterosexual magazine Playboy to publicly deny that he is gay.
Because it wasn't true in my case. So I felt it was just time to sort of, if I wasn't going to tell people what I was, then at least I should tell people what I'm not.
It's 2 a.m., January 1st, year 2000. It's pitch black. You need light. If you planned ahead, you'll have one of these. Just wind it up. You'll have light and communication. Call now. Get the ultimate Y2K survival kit from BeCalm.com.
Y2K, it's called. It's a date-related computer glitch that'll hit when the year rolls over to a 00. News Center 4's Anthony Moore reports we will all be affected.
Our children must also be educated.
Nick Jr. presents Bill Cosby.
Hey, hello, friend. I want to talk to you about being 5. Are you 5? Were you 5? Are you going to be 5?
It's the ear-piercing laugh of billionaire Jeff Bezos. Now, I've heard a lot about your desk.
It's a door with 4x4s.
Come on. And you don't need clean carpets.
Well, these are, you know, sticky balls.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. That's very impressive.
This is a perfectly good car.
There's no dress code and no hair color code in a place the customer will never see.
.com looked tiny. Powerful. Do you ever get scared?
It's a fact.
For the past 5,000 years, Bible prophets and visionaries have warned of catastrophes that will occur with the coming new millennium. These predictions, plus growing political unrest and the concerns of scientists about severe meteor showers, have created an aura of fear about the new millennium. Are there coming events that we should fear?
We're going to be in a world of hurt come January the 1st, 2000.
Families should be prepared for brownouts, blackouts.
My fellow Americans, today our armed forces joined our NATO allies in airstrikes against Serbian forces responsible for the brutality in Kosovo. We have acted with resolve for several reasons. We act to protect thousands of innocent people in Kosovo from a mounting military offensive. We act to prevent a wider war, to defuse a powder keg at the heart of Europe that has exploded twice before in this century with catastrophic results. And we act to stand united with our allies for peace. By acting now, we are upholding our values, protecting our interests, and advancing the cause of peace.
Across the country, tens of thousands of police officers on high alert.
You have probably the only 3 people in Washington here who think we should go straight to Belgrade and arrest Milosevic. So let's not kid each other. We're the only 3 people. The rest of this is malarkey. The Republican Congress won't even vote for the bombing. The NATO forces won't even go along with the idea of ground troops. And whether or not the president will or will not is not relevant. The question, it seems to me, what is the definition of victory? We sat in this program before. The definition of victory was all the troops out of Kosovo, the Albanians back in Kosovo, and a NATO-led force in Kosovo. That's not total victory. That's not the victory I want. That's not the victory John wants. I've been saying we should go on the ground. We should announce there's going to be American casualties. We should go to Belgrade and we should have a Japanese, German-style occupation of that country, and we should have public trials in order to strike away this mask of this Serbian victimization so the people of Serbia know what's happened. But that's not what anyone but the 3 of us have been talking about from the beginning. So when the president says he's not for total victory, he's not for what we're for. But he never was, nor was NATO, nor was anybody but the 3 of us.
Morbidly shy Donald Trump broke his lifelong abhorrence of the spotlight tonight by telling Larry King he's forming an exploratory committee to test the political waters and block other exploratory committees' views of the river.
All day long, investigators have searched the homes of both teenage killers. Most of the bodies are still inside the school.
Mr. President, there seems to
be an epidemic of these kinds of incidents now. Paducah, Kentucky, Jonesboro, Arkansas, Springfield, Oregon, and several others. Would you characterize this as an epidemic affecting the nation's school system?
I wouldn't want to use that word. What I would like to know is whether we can learn enough from this, which in its dimensions apparently is much greater than even the others were, and see what else we can do. I had a very interesting conversation this afternoon with Congresswoman Carolyn McCarthy, who, as all of you know, lost her own husband, and son sustained a wound as a result of a shooting incident on a commuter train. And that's what we talked about. I think tonight we owe it to the people of Littleton and to the families involved in this tragedy to let them go through the grieving and try to get the facts. And then the rest of us have a responsibility to do everything we can to make sure this doesn't make 1999 a year like last year, that we don't have another rash of this, that we really can be more effective in preventing it. I wish I could say more tonight, but I don't think I can.
Mr. President, have you been talking? Wake up, sir.
Oh, no, wait a minute now. Calm down, Rock!
Are you sick and tired of hearing about the Millennium Bug? Well, so are we. Raid, the official killer of the Millennium Bug, kills bugs dead.
You know, you're mentally whipped, that you've lost that edge.
No, we'll never stop fighting.
But you're looking over here.
Never. Yeah, because I'm looking at the Lakers uniform that you guys have in the background. I'm just thinking about the tradition, thinking about all the great players that came through.
Another scenario, I mean, a plane of that size, you can bring it down on a dirt road or even a farm field if you have to. So that would be another slight hope, is that they made land. It would be good practice flying, and especially without the flight plan and flying over water, to be flying high enough that you could reach land, that you maybe even could glide down to land if you lost your single engine. It's a single engine plane.
A tragic family, a famous family, the Kennedys in America, but also not content to lead pedestrian lives.
They come back up.
Let me show you the credit card that Shell Oil recently sent me, valid till the year 1000. Whoops. Well, if Shell Oil can't figure out how to solve this problem, my guess is there are other serious problems lurking out there come January 1, 2000.
Yes, I never had a problem with the way my music was promoted or distributed. My main problem with record companies was an ownership issue. When you don't own the master tape, they can take the master recording and put it on different compilations, do all kinds of different things with your music.
Bill. Any political campaign, of course, in large parts theater. This one's no exception. Tiny Carthage, Tennessee, population 2,500, has been transformed into a stage set with banners and buntings and bands, as you can hear.
Just visible within a generation's journey is a new horizon. A 21st century America with stronger families, stronger communities, and a more vital democracy in which we live and govern according to our highest American ideals. I love this country with all my heart.
I want free speech. I believe in our future.
I believe we need leadership, whether it's the federal level or the state level, that's willing to blow the whistle on failure.
Walk into a hospital and you'll find some of the most expensive high-tech equipment you'll ever see. More often than not, they provide the lifeline some patients need for survival. But unfortunately, that equipment isn't immune to the Y2K bug.
Privacy. I mean, we are all very private individuals. The internet is a very public device, and much of the traffic is open to great inspection by all sorts.
Privacy is one of the great concerns that people have, and it's very important that in this medium, consumers be informed what's going on with their information and that they have the option to control exactly what's done. We're taking a leading role in terms of how websites actually declare what they're doing with that information. In some ways, people are just realizing that even decades ago, every phone call they've made, their tax records, their checks, all those things are on computers, and I think it's good that they're forcing companies to be explicit about where that information goes.
Y2K computer bug could cost the city $14 million.
Running game, and we asked their fine guard Hutchinson.
That's a great call. You know, we talked about this chess match. By the way, that was a great job of Brady hanging.
Jared believes in an active lifestyle, including lots of walking. At the heart of Jared's routine are Subway sandwiches.
Hey, Jared.
Hey, guys.
A Senate panel describes Y2K, the year 2000 computer bug, as a worldwide crisis and one of the most serious and potentially devastating events this nation has ever encountered. And it points to the healthcare industry as worst prepared. The Washington Post says the full report will be released later this week. And even before the year 2000 rolls around, panic itself could cause problems.
Every family should perform regular emergency drills. Now, the Andersons are just such a family. This year, because of Y2K, the emphasis is being placed on emergencies that could take place because of the Y2K event.
2 quarts for drinking and food preparation, 2 quarts for sanitation. Don't forget about the pets. They also need clean drinking water. The water that comes from your tap has already been treated by the Detroit Water and Sewage Department. Bring the water being treated to a rolling boil for 10 minutes. Remove the water from the heat. Pour the water back and forth between 2 containers to add air and improve the taste of the boiled water. In the event that water is still available, water conservation may be necessary due to low water pressure situations. Remember, using water in a sensible way each and every day is a wise lifestyle choice. Next, open the hot water tap on any sink in the home and refill your tank every 6 months. This will help reduce the buildup of sediment. If the tank hasn't been flushed in a while, start off slowly by draining off a few gallons every few weeks. For drinking, drain both hot and cold water systems. Open any hot water tap in the house. To drain the cold water pipes, open 2 cold water taps in the house, making sure that one of them is the lowest in your home. In most homes, the lowest cold water tap will be located in the basement on the laundry tubs. It is recommended that you fill your bathtub with water no later than 10 p.m. on December 31st, 1999. Keep small children away from the tub. Children can drown in as little as a ½ inch of water. Pour the water into the tank and flush. This ensures that the water follows a normal swirling motion. After the water has gone down, be sure to pour some water in the bowl in order to keep the trap full, which will cut down on odors.
Very nice. All right, well, so obviously everything's working fine now, but what we're going to do is we're going to have an NBC technician come in and reprogram his internal clock so that the robot is going to think that it's the year 2000, and then we can see what happens. And I think, you finished there with your calculations? Very good. All right, folks, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, wait a minute, folks, something's gone very wrong. Something...
Embedded chips are everywhere, in office buildings, manufacturing plants, medical diagnostic equipment, in transportation, communications, and banking systems. Millions of mission-critical systems are at risk of disruption or failure, from medical equipment to national defense systems. The enormity of the problem is staggering. Devices will fail. We can't fix them all, so in many cases, the only realistic option is to let them fail, then scramble to bring systems back online as soon as possible. The challenge is, some of these systems could be critical to our health, well-being, and safety. Electricity cannot effectively be stored in large quantities. It must be created in real time to meet immediate needs. I can't make you feel 100% confident that everything is going to function. Canada's National Defense Department is preparing for war against the year 2000 problem, a kind of martial law that will see soldiers, sailors, and air personnel play a major role in keeping Canada working.
An independent study of New York City's infrastructure carried out by UK-based corporation 2000 has estimated that the city faces massive disruption for up to a month at the start of the year 2000.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Good morning.
My name is Bobby.
Hi, Bobby.
I'm in Dallas, based in Dallas.
Oh, great.
You know Dallas?
Sure.
Do you really? How do you know it?
Over the shoulder, Bobby?
Yeah.
I worked there.
Oh, did you? What were you doing?
I did a loop of pay.
Ah, yes, okay.
Yeah. We corporate thugging them right now. Yeah, this one I'm wearing right here. Yeah, sure. Yeah, wonderful. Right. As you and
Todd and his family are preparing for the downside of Y2K should it come to pass.
You know, there's people out there that I've talked to that said, there's nothing going to happen. What are you basing that on? Nobody knows. No one. Chicken noodle.
They've stocked their shelves with soups.
Chicken noodle.
Well, welcome to the White House and our celebration of the holiday season. I hope that people all over our country recognize that there's probably a treasure right in your backyard.
Your U.S. tour dates take you almost up to New Year's Eve. What are your New Year's Eve plans?
Well, I can answer that question for you. And what are we doing on New Year's Eve?
I don't know. What are you doing on New Year's Eve?
We'll be hiding somewhere.
In a bomb shelter.
I'll be dig
with all your money.
I'm gonna dig a hole and jump in there and put dirt over it.
I'm gonna go to the bank and ask for all the money in quarters and nickels.
Give me all my money.
Can I have that in nickels and quarters?
We haven't really decided yet.
Here we go. Top 10 effects of Y2K. Here we go. Number 10.
Stuff's gonna explode.
Yeah!
This is the Queen, who is trying to light a laser, which is going to go across the river to light the national beacon on Tower Hill at the London Tower. And I was beginning to worry. This happened just a few seconds ago. I was beginning to worry. You remember Bess Truman when she was whacking some ship trying to christen it with a bottle of champagne and the champagne wouldn't break? Well, the Queen couldn't get the laser lit very well either. It took a few moments. It did take forever. It did work, finally. They're explaining to the Queen here what's supposed to happen. Even queens aren't fully apprised of these things. And then there's the laser that goes out, lights the national beacon, and this thing which is...
I think there is going to be, according to the prophecies of the Bible, wars and rumors of wars till the end of time. And I don't think there's anything that can change that except the human heart.